Very much for having me here today. I really appreciate it. I think in my role as community liaison, trying to meet as many people as possible really helps me in terms of trying to handle complaints that might come up. Because a lot of times when people know who to go to, it kind of helps ease whatever angst they might have. At least to have somebody to bring their complaint to, and I am the person that's assigned to. Like as Raphael mentioned, to disseminate information to the community about our project and to receive information from the community about those things that are going on within the project that may be impactful to the community. Department of Design and Construction is managing phase 2 of the reconstruction of Pelham Parkway. Phase 1, as many of you know, did occur a few years ago. This is phase 2 of that project. It is occurring in the main road of Pelham Parkway between Stillwell Avenue and really I would say between Hutchinson River Parkway and Bronx River Parkway. So that work is currently happening on the main road. There will also be work that's occurring on the North Service Road between Stillwell Avenue and Bronx Park East, essentially. Okay. So what that work will entail, what's happening right now on the main road of Pelham Parkway, what's been happening since January, we started construction. Water main installation, 20-inch distribution water main has been installed, as well as some 8-inch and 12-inch distribution mains have been installed in the roadway. It's tied into existing main that's out beyond the Hutchinson River Parkway and beyond Bronx River Parkway. So we're tying in on either end, and there's also some tie-in points on side streets. So spots like Bronxwood Avenue, East Chester Road, these are spots where the water main comes in from the north to the south and has to be tied in to the main roadway. So you'll see some work on the service road to do that tie-in work, but right now the bulk of the work is happening in the main road. We are doing sewer right now. The water main, for the most part, is complete in the main road. We're performing sewer work. Thankfully, the impacts that are occurring right now, some of you might not think it's really good, but I know from a construction standpoint, what's happening now is not too bad in terms of impacts to residents and businesses, in that we are in the main road. Our work is not occurring in front of any businesses or any homes, so it gives you an idea of what's to come, because this project will move to the North Service Road. That will not occur probably for another year or year and a half. So if you're on the North Service Road or any of the side streets, you don't necessarily have to worry about us impacting you in the way that the main road is being impacted right now. Part of my role is to alert the community when we are coming into your block to impact you. So if we're going to be impacting parking, if we're going to be cutting off your water, if we're going to be closing the street or driveway access is going to be impacted, my job is to go to each residence and explain that and what the impact is to those people who are impacted. What's the major impacts that are occurring right now in the roadway are lane closures. So if you've driven in the main road, you know that there are lane closures that are happening on either side. You'll have to shift from side to side depending upon what work is happening. There is work that is happening on the north side of the service, or the main road, and the south side of the main road on the Jacoby Hospital side. That work, like I said, will be continuing for the next year or so. It will be fully complete before we go to the North Service Road. So that being said, when we finish doing the sewer, there'll be some sections of trunk main work that will be done. Trunk mains, just so you know, the water main system in New York City has distribution water mains, and then there are trunk water mains. Trunk water mains are very large pipes, 3 feet or 4 foot in diameter. These pipes connect directly to the water tunnels that bring water in from upstate. Distribution mains, which are 8-inch, 12-inch, or 20-inch mains, are the ones that actually run up your street and bring water directly to your homes. There is a very large component on this project that calls for a trunk water main installation. The trunk water main installation, for those of you who live in the Bronx Park East area or on the North Service Road, that trunk main installation is going to be the part of the project that will probably affect you the most. I'll explain in that the trunk water main work will begin on Boston Road, approximately right in the middle of the main, westbound main road going out towards Fordham Road. That pipe will come north on Boston Road and bang a right and go up the North Service Road all the way to Eastchester Road. So what we're talking about in the North Service Road is the installation of a 4-foot around pipe that's going to go in the roadway. So what you can expect on the North Service Road, when that installation begins, you can expect, because of the sheer size of the pipe and the trench that is going to be needed to install the pipe and the machinery that's going to be needed to install the pipe, you can expect that on the North Service Road in intervals there will be street closures, no parking, probably driveway access will be impacted. The good news is for trunk water main installation, unlike distribution main, which is the ones that bring water right to your home, trunk main installation would not necessarily involve turning off water en masse. So that part of the trunk water main installation is a positive in terms of how people are normally impacted with water main. We shouldn't necessarily have to cut water off to large groups of people to do the trunk water main. In terms of Bronx Park East, I just want to make it clear that what will happen is, probably will be most impactful to all of you in the room, is there is going to be essentially a part of the project that's going to occur on Pelham Parkway North. It's going to wrap around by the Retina Group, the Bronx Eye Associates. It's going to come around there, go out towards Bronx Park East, and bang a right going towards Barker. And so that work right there, just to bring the water main, that's a distribution water main that's going in there. So it's the smaller main that brings water to your house. That will cause water shutdowns that will impact Allenville, that will impact Thwaites, that will impact Barker, and Pelham Parkway, Pelham Parkway North, and Bronx Park East.
And Reese?
Reese, I'm not 100% sure that you're going to necessarily be bothered on Reese, but I can confirm that Allenville to, what would be the next, is it Mace? Between Thwaites, thank you. Thwaites and Waring, you'll probably have a shutdown on Allenville between Thwaites and Waring. You may have you're going to have a shutdown on Bronx Park East between Pelham Parkway North and Barker. And from Bronx Park East to, on Thwaites, from Bronx Park East to Boston Road. All of these areas will be impacted by water shutdowns at some point when we get over there to do the water main work. You can also expect that there may be some parking impacted in that area as well. Again, my role is to communicate that to you ahead of time. So in advance of these water shutoffs, and in advance of any elimination of parking, I will be coming through those blocks, speaking to the supers to coordinate water shutoffs, posting notices in the buildings to let people know that they're happening, and posting notices about no parking. So these things will happen in advance. Very rarely would it happen by surprise. There are emergency circumstances that occur that may have a situation where you may not have been impacted by, you may not have been alerted to the fact that water is going to be off. But that's rare. That's not something that we do normally. What I would ask is, I've given out business cards to most everybody here. I've also left information in the back. There's project information cards that give you a brief description of the project. I also have copies of the quarterly newsletters that I've done thus far. I do a quarterly newsletter that explains the progress on the project and what we're going to be doing in the coming month. I would ask that for those of you who I've given business cards to, I'll give more out to the rest of you who haven't received one. Please send me an email so that I can put you on my email distribution. You will receive notifications real time. So any notices that I put up in any buildings, any community advisories that go to the community board, you'll receive them real time and you'll know what's happening ahead of time before things are even posted on buildings. So I would encourage you to please contact me to be on my distribution list.
His contact info is on the agenda.
Yes.
It's the office phone number?
Yes.
Office phone number and email address. Do we have any questions for Thomas?
Oh, one other thing I want to mention is the duration of the project. We began construction in January It was actually supposed to begin in August of 2017, so we're slightly behind. The project is supposed to run, the original duration was supposed to be from summer of 2017 to summer of 2021. It'll be more like, probably more like summer of 2022 at this point.
Wow.
So I'm sorry to tell you, we will be in the neighborhood for quite some time doing this work, and I hope to be a resource for all of you to reach out to if you have any questions or concerns. Yes, sir.
Yes, before, I'm sorry I wasn't completely collating the dates.
Yes.
Are they going to take place during the heating system,
That's what I was going to ask.
heating season? Sorry.
Well, it's
Because that will mean the boiler is off. Now
That's right.
no heat.
That's right. And no hot water.
like I said, for folks that are on north of the service road, excuse me, north of the main road.
Right.
So if you're on the north service road, chances are you won't be impacted by water shutoffs because we're doing trunk water main on the north service road. If you live in the streets I just mentioned, Olinville, Bronx Park East, Thwaites, you will be impacted by water shutoffs. Usually, water main work of that kind is done in the summer because of the fact that we don't want pipes freezing. We don't want to have. There's a lot of water that has to be run into the street to do that work because they have to drain the pipes via the fire hydrants. So I would say that the chances of having water main work occur in the winter would be rare. Okay, on this project.
Any other questions?
Yes.
I lived in the state for all my life. I never seen them pick up town parkway like that. They don't crack over 100 years old.
They're about the trunk water mains are about 80 years old, and the distribution mains are going to be anywhere from 80 to 50 years old. So yeah, the pipes are quite old and do need to be changed.
Marcy?
This is not about the water mains, that you might know. The bus lane that they're putting in on Pelham Parkway,
Yeah.
is that temporary or is that what you guys consider acceptable?
Right. There is going to be a bus lane that's going to be installed, and it's going to be permanent.
What?
The bus there
No.
now is asphalt, it's already ripping up, it's already not
You're-
handling the weight of the buses.
You're talking about on the side that's going towards City Island?
No, I'm talking on the north side. They have an asphalt bus lane that's been put in. Is that a temporary
Yeah,
asphalt?
yes.
Or is it going to be?
Yes.
permanent cement?
Everything that's happening on the main road right now is in terms of it being bumpy and yeah, that's temporary. And what I want to explain is, just so you know, when you see the construction happening, you see the guys digging up the roadway one day, and then they come back the next week and they dig it up again. It's like, wait a minute, they were just here. Water main will be installed separately than sewer. So they'll do the water main first, they'll lay that in there, and then they cover it up. They go the whole length, close it up, and then they fall back, and then they do the sewer. So it looks like they're doing work over again. It's two different systems, but yes, ultimately, that the main road will be fully restored. When I say fully restored, new concrete road base and new paving, and there will be a dedicated bus lane that's going to be put in there.
Okay, because what they have there now for a bus lane is not handling the weight of the bus lane.
Right. Oh, you're talking about what the existing lane, yeah. You can see where the weight of the buses is caught. Yeah, we're gonna be putting in a new road base there, new concrete road base, and new paving that will handle, that is designed to handle buses.
And the sewer system is going to take the water,
Yes,
because that is one of the reasons why that area, where you're putting the bus lane, is so corroded.
right.
Because the sewer's over.
What's being put in there is a highway drain. It's different than a regular combined sewer or a sanitary sewer. The sewer that's being put in there is an iron pipe that's designed to deal with the vibration that's on the roadway and handle the amount of water that is going to be produced.
Last question, Grace?
Right. When we had the public hearing at the blind school,
Yes.
when we talked about the design for Pelham Parkway, I could have sworn we rejected bus lanes. I thought the bus lanes, we didn't want bus lanes
No.
on Pelham Parkway because
They
it's,
put bus lanes in on the south side, Brian.
Yeah, they did.
what,
It's just a dedicated bus lane. That's what they have on the south side main road.
Yeah, there'll be
But-
one bus lane.
You got two car
but so
lanes
now,
and a red
so now
lane.
it's gonna become,
It's going to be three. It's going to
Three.
be one bus lane and three travel lanes, actually.
Free travel.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
so there's no difference in volume.
Okay, I just,
Alright, everyone, thank you, Thomas, for coming and presenting in detail. Again, his contact info is on here, or you can speak to him and get a
Yeah,
call.
and anybody wants a card, so they can send me an email, I'll be glad to give you one.
Alright, we have a pretty packed agenda, we haven't had a meeting for a while, so,
Thank you all, thank you.
apologies
Thank
for the
you.
late, but, a lot of information. Next up is our NCOs. We, BPECA, BPECA is our initials, Bronx Breakers Community Association, BPECA. We cover, 2 sectors within the 49th precinct, Sector B and Sector C. So we have our Sector C Neighborhood Coordinating Officers, NCOs here, Daisy Sanchez and Gregory Hernandez. Pop quiz, Sector C, where does that start and where's it end? Let's see, Steven. Nothing? Yeah, you don't know? Francis, where's Sector C start? Marcy, where's Sector C start? No. Diana, where's Sector C
it's
start?
from Mace,
There we are, Mace Avenue.
from Mace,
You can take it.
from Mace to, Parkside and beyond,
Hi guys, I know you guys know me already.
more or less.
Sector C, for those who don't know, starts the north side of Mace Avenue from Bronx Park East all the way to Williamsbridge. We have that whole north area all the way to Gun Hill Road. Once we get to Williamsbridge, it starts at Allerton. We have the north part of Allerton, all the way to Eastchester Road up to Gun Hill, and then everything west of Eastchester Road to Pelham Parkway, from Pelham Parkway to Gun Hill Road. So it's like a big, kind of like an L shape that we cover. Not sure, I guess updates, we're working on a homicide now over at Bronx Park East. With an individual shot. We're still working with the detectives in order to apprehend the individual and try to identify who did it. Progress is going, so shouldn't be too long before they find something. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We did find a vehicle that was involved. That vehicle is now in our station house and waiting to be processed by crime scene.
Was that drug related or no?
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
Once I have further details, that will be brought up to you guys, or we told Raphael, and he can forward that information to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Our next, I might as well just jump into it. Our next Build-A-Block meeting for Sector C will be December 13th. Right now, if you look on the website, it will probably say Centerlight, but I doubt it will be at Centerlight on Allerton Avenue, so it will probably be either at Beth Abram or at the Sands again.
Oh, not here? Why not?
We're just trying to find a place that everybody will be able to commute.
Yeah.
December 13th, that will be a Thursday.
And if anyone, if you live south of Mace Avenue, Sector B's meeting is next Wednesday at Central Light.
At Centerlight on Boston Road.
White Plains Road.
I'm sorry, White Plains Road.
2401, where we used to be. So, yeah. So if you live on Lighting Avenue, if you live on Waring, Waits, that's Sector B. But does anyone have any questions for Officer Hernandez or Sanchez? You can feel free to exchange contact with them. Take down their cell phone number. You can text them. Take down their email. You can email them. But please do keep in touch with them about noise issues, quality of life issues, something you see concerns you. Please speak up. You can text me anytime. Text them anytime.
That's something that both Daisy and I are working vigilantly on, especially over the Coops area. We have the homeless issue, the drunks. We went on a training. The best that we can do is continuously sending them to the hospital, offering them help, issuing summonses when need be, and arresting them on warrants if it warrants that situation. As well as over by the Coops area, on Barker Avenue, Olinville, Bronx Park East. It's a big noise issue, people hanging out in the street, drinking at night. Music blasting either from their cars or from a portable speaker at late hours of the night. Officer Sanchez and myself have been changing our tours to work later so that we can combat that issue as well. Issue summonses, and as well, if anyone has warrants, bring them in on the warrants, and hopefully that would cease to exist with this crazy noise that's going on at night. Hopefully that will stop them and bring a better quality of life to everybody in that neighborhood that's complaining about it. And
I just
All right, thank you
I
very
have a quick
much.
question.
Okay.
What is that? Is that the video?
It's our body cams.
That's the body cam, okay. Cause oh,
Mom, you're on camera.
so are you. Okay.
They turn on. We turn them on to every job that warrants our cameras to be turned on.
Good, good, you
And
should.
basically, what it'll do is prevent the false accusations against police officers.
Mm-hmm.
It did work well with the incident that happened over in Alton Avenue, Nolanville, where the individual was running with a gun. The police officers were chasing after him. He did have a firearm in his hand. Police officers did draw upon him, but the police officers did not shoot. The guy took the gun and shot himself in the chest. What this happened last month.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested about a month and a half ago. But the body cameras prove that officers did not shoot. What was going around was the accusation that police officers killed an unarmed black man,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't the case. The guy did have a firearm, and he took the firearm and used it on himself. So this comes out to be a helpful tool in our everyday work, where false accusations are being made upon us, and it also shows, something that we probably would have missed with our own eye. We look back on our cameras and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. And we can open up our own investigation and report on them and get them in the future.
Plus everybody else has got a camera. Why not you
That's
guys?
right.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Everyone is outfitted, is fitted with it?
Everyone is trained and fitted with it, yes. I believe all the precincts have now been issued their body cams. There are probably a few staggering that were probably on vacation. They're just waiting for their time to go get their training and be issued their body cams.
There's one between two.
We each have one.
You each have one.
Mm-hmm.
Every single officer would have one.
Oh, excellent, good.
Well, all right, thank you.
Great.
Thank you, David.
I'm going to leave my card in the back for those people that are in Sector C and that would like to get in contact with me, because we still have homicide investigation to finish working on, as far as video canvases and witnesses, things like that. But I'm going to leave my card in the back for those who wish to have my card. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Hey, Rafael, can I just say something?
Who is that? Oh, Hazel, yeah, sorry.
I wanna thank our NCOs for everything that they do, but particularly for talking to that stupid owner of that furniture store next to Citibank. It has gotten better, but
I'll
we
send
need
you.
to have another talk with him, but it got a lot better after you spoke to him, so I appreciate that, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, we got a couple more guests. First off, I do want to thank everyone for coming out on this cold night. I know it's pretty frigid out there comparatively. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we wanted to bring someone in to talk about women's health. And we have someone here from Jacobi Medical Center, which is a part of New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation. Her name is Brunilda Sparty, and she is a family health educator at Women's Health Services at Jacobi. So let's give her a deep type of welcome.
Hello, as Rafael said, my name is Brunilda Sparty, and I work for Women's Health Center at Jacobi Hospital.
Brian.
So, we have a large clinic at Jacobi Hospital. We take care of all,
You gotta speak loud.
I'm sorry. Better? So my name is Brunilda Sparty, and I work at Jacobi Hospital for Women's Health Center. We have a
One
very
meeting.
large
Sorry.
clinic, which include care for all women from age to 14 to all ages. We take care of pregnant ladies. We have all the specialties that come with it: diabetes clinic, teenage prenatal care, and high risk and everything else that comes with pregnancy. We also have GYN and all the specialties that come with it: family planning. We have oncology for GYN. We have endocrine clinic, and all the other specialties: colon, pap test, breast exams and free mammograms. We do free pregnancy tests for every woman that comes in without an appointment. We do counseling, and I'm one of the counselors that take care of every single patient that comes through the clinic and seeks information, help, or direction of the care. I have noticed my main job is outreach through the community, and I'm noticing that a lot of women, and that is one of my concerns, after 40, they tell me, oh, we don't need this information anymore. We are done with childbearing. I think we're not done with being women. So as a woman, doesn't matter how old you are, and doesn't matter that you are not going to have any more children, you still need an annual exam. You still need a breast exam. You still need a mammogram every year. So please, 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 as a woman, please come to the doctor and check yourself, not only when we are sick or we need something. The other concern is our teenagers, so I would really get any concerns or advices for you how to help them better. Lately, I have noticed that the STD testing is, with positives, is being a little concerning. So any concerns or any advices that you have how to help our young community, please, I'm open to it. And I'm willing to help. I do have my family planning brochure. My name is back there, and also for everyone who needs an appointment, the number for the clinic, not the main number for Jacobi, for our clinic, family planning, is there. Thank you.
You work in Jacobi, right? Okay.
Yes.
My question to you will be, since you talk about pregnant women and having kids and all that, what kind of treatment you do to a woman or a girl, especially young girls that have a kid for postpartum depression before they get out of the hospital?
They are referred to social worker, and they do take care of them there. And that is a very well-known problem. And every woman that is pregnant after the pregnancy can fall on that. And it's a very serious problem.
Thank you.
Marcy?
Do you have any information on an HPV vaccine?
I do have a lot of information for teens, STDs, pregnancy, and I do think that I have HPV vaccine materials. But if you have an email, I will be glad to give you information. But I do think I have something like that.
Anyone else have any questions for Brunilda? Okay, great. Thank you, Brunilda, for coming, and please do contact her if you have any questions.
Thank you.
All right, before we get into our before our assemblywoman speaks to us, we're going to have updates from elected officials. I know we have Joe McManus here. Do we have any other elected officials here that I do not know, or any other agencies, institutions? Okay, Joe from Councilmember Richie Torres' office.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, that's a good response. Everybody's awake tonight, huh?
Hey, Joe.
I have a few things. One, the councilman is sponsoring free lead screenings. That means it's like a blood test to see if you have lead in your system. It's not, if you need something for your water, you just call 311. They have a water test that they could use for your water. But with that, you have to call the office. You have to make an appointment. And the office number is 718-842-8100. The other major thing today is participatory budgeting. That means the council members put aside $1 million in capital improvements. That means something like, say, like automatic doors, in public building, or smart boards for schools, or something like a skate park, something that's going to be around for a long time, the minimum of 5 years. The project must cost at least $35,000. And you can give your ideas, and they have the website here, it's www.pbnyc.org/15. And they'll ask you a bunch of information, your name, your address, specifically where you want the project done. You can't just say, I want to put, say like computers in the school. You gotta say PS 96 and it has to be in the 15 council district. It has to be in Councilman Torres's district. Anybody could make a suggestion, but the only people that could vote on that, and that'll be done in, before I forget, they want those ideas in before November 10th. All right, so you have to submit those ideas fairly soon. Sometime in April, when they gather all the ideas and put them together, because even though you have an idea, the agency might say, well, we can't do that. Just say you want to build a whole new park. They say, well, it costs $4 million for a bathroom, and we don't have $4 million. So some of the ideas will be discarded just because the agency says it can't be done. Excuse me, Fred? No programs, it has to be capital. Like if you said you wanted to put a whole new sound system or a telecommunication system in a public school, that's going to last for 5, 10, 15 years. But the program could be here today, gone tomorrow. So there's no programs specifically and nothing for staff people. It has to be actual physical, something like a building or, you know, something that's can be done, like I said, that's going to last for about 5 years. I'm trying to see. I think that's about it. I did put some flyers out in the back. I still got the old parking calendars. I know everybody's looking for the 2019 calendar, but that hasn't come out yet. I put another flyer out there for the summer, so some of the information's out there. And I think that's the strength of my report.
One more thing, on November 2nd, on November 2nd, Councilman Torres is going to do a press conference at Barker and Waring Avenue. As Larry knows, as a lot of other people know, that's a problem intersection at school entry and dismissal. We want DOT to do something, something. Barker Avenue and Waring Avenue, 1 block from where we got our traffic light and where Richie got the traffic light at Bronx Park East and Waring Avenue. It's going to be at school dismissal because we want a nice crowd. It's going to be at 2 p.m. on a Friday. It's on the calendar. So Friday, November 2nd, 2 p.m. If you can come, it would be very much appreciated. The council member will be there. I'll be there, and we just need a big showing. Also, with participatory budgeting, I went to the neighborhood, the first meeting, the neighborhood assembly. Diana was there. Traffic safety at Barker and Waring. Pedestrian and driver safety.
Just let me know it's by PS 96.
Yeah, Barker and Waring. By PS 96, yes. PS 96. We are requesting something be done. I mean, the only things they can do is either a 4-way stop or a traffic light. That's the 2 options, but we want them to do something because the crossing guard, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's still walking,
She's 80 years old.
She's 80. Miss Thomaselli.
Yeah, I know. My kids.
She's been there a long time.
30, 40 years ago.
And what she has to deal with on a daily basis is unheard of. But participatory budgeting. So there were 2 people in the neighborhood who wanted me to submit ideas. One was for PS 96. A parent who comes to this meeting, his name is Kevin. He brings his child Aiden, the little boy. He wanted more, I believe it's, what are those things? They're like iPads, what are they called? Tablets, there we are. Tablets, because I can't explain the way he did, but he said there's one class with 30 kids and 10 tablets, and the teacher has to teach the same lesson 3 times because she only has 10 tablets to work with. Again, that's my translation of it. I submitted that one. Another one I submitted was for Stephanie Slimgoody. She does the hula hoop in the park in Bronx Park East at Britain. There's no water fountain by the soccer field. Anywhere north of Waring Avenue, there's no water fountain. And we got a soccer field there. We have a exercise station coming there. We have a skate park there, and there's no water fountain. So I don't know how much that'll cost, but that's one thing I'll be advocating for you.
Is there no water fountains there at all, or just?
No, none.
that could be like a $15,000 or $20,000 job because you have to bring a water line in from the street,
Right.
and then you have to bring a sewer line out also.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if it was me, I would suggest a water filling station, with the water fountain, because the city council's put a new law in that no plastic water bottles, or no water in plastic bottles can be sold in parks anymore. So I was out west in a lot of I was in Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon, and they all have these water filling stations. You put your water bottle there, it's electronic, the water comes out. So I mean, I would say it's a good idea. Orchard Beach has it too. Well, the whole idea is if it's not a battery, they use electricity. So you have to put electricity, you have to put water, and you have to put a sewer in. And that would be a great project.
So you say $20,000, so we're probably talking 10 million, right? The city's. No, but we'll see. Anyway, the third idea. Okay, yeah, plenty of money, sure.
We can't print it, but we can spend it.
Third one, there's been a lot of illegal.
I'm going to sit down for a second, but I'll be here till the end of the meeting. If anybody needs any information, I'll take all your questions, but I pay for answers, okay? You got to pay me for answers.
Okay. So there's been a lot of tire dealerships, car dealerships coming in the sometimes even in the afternoon, but late night hours dumping tires, loads of construction garbage along Bronx Park East, ranging from, I would say, Burke Avenue all the way down to Pelham Parkway North. So I spoke to the parks manager. He suggested to me 5 locations for cameras. I don't know how the cameras would work. He said there are other similar cameras that do take like snapshots in other parts of the borough, just to deter it, because it's disgusting that you come out of 25, 26 Bronx Park East and there's a pile of like 12 tires by the tree. It's like
It's illegal.
yeah.
I just happened to be at the District Service Council meeting today, and we were talking about that. And it's an issue because Parks only has a few people that do enforcement. And even though they try to get sanitation involved with that, people dump at night, and they almost say that because they pick up so often, people dump more. So I suggested to put, somebody asked me, could you put, cameras in parks, and parks said, yeah, that's not a problem. So it's a good idea. The problem is that parks and sanitation have so few people enforcing. Matter of fact, the guy from sanitation says they very rarely go over to that end of the park. It's mostly parks that picks up the dumping. So it is an issue. I don't know how to alleviate it, but it's been ongoing since I've been working for the council. I mean, it's only a short time, only about a year. So it is a major issue over there. So have cameras there would be all right, but the problem again is, the enforcement. They don't have a lot of people to go out and, collect these people, because most of the stuff is done, midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning, and a lot of those people are not working at the other time, so. That is an issue.
It gets turned over to NYPD, right?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. Unless the cameras are placed there by the police department.
No, Parks places the camera, they catch the contractor dumping the stuff with a picture, right? They catch the person on camera. Does it then go to the NYPD for arrest?
I'm not sure. My understanding is that, and every time I've heard this, they have to catch them in the act. So I don't know how,
What's the sense of putting a camera?
it's supposed to be to alleviate people, to keep honest people honest. That's about it.
They actually did a joint operation between parks and sanitation, and they did catch one of the tire dealers doing it at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There was an undercover PEP officer in a car. So I presume they were ticketed heavily. Since then, I mean, it still goes on, but we gotta try to work to solve the problems. Can't say everything is completely solved. Will completely solve it. Yeah, Patricia.
Where they dump this stuff at, is it really lit up over there?
No, it's not.
Does you need the light?
Very dark.
Right.
at nighttime.
So if you put a camera, you need to put in brighter lights.
You wanna have a.
Yeah. Maybe as part of that, each lamppost can get can get what's known as floodlights. Floodlights are two lights that are attached to a DOT lamppost that will face into the park. Some of the lampposts do have the floodlights. We got about 4 new lampposts put in 2014, and then one goes out. So and then it's out for 2 months. Like what the it's a pain in the butt. So before Talia goes on, Grace wants to say a few words about DYCD.
Yeah, can you, wait, come over here. Come over here. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? How many people know what the DYCD is? Not too many, like I thought. The neighborhood, the DYCD is the Department of Youth and Community Development. And from the DYCD, there are neighborhood advisory boards in each district. In District 11, we have 12 NABs, that's what they call. I'm the chair for District 11 for the NAB here. We're having, all our meetings are public. We have them every 3 months, quarterly. And then we have other events that will be coming up, and I would post that. This Monday, October 22nd at 6 p.m. at Bronx House we're having our first neighborhood advisory board start, because we start our new year in October. So everyone's invited to come. We're going to be getting ready for the request for proposals period, which would be in 2019. So let me just read the DYCD mission. The New York City Department of Youth and Community Development invests in a network of community-based organizations and programs to alleviate the effects of poverty and to provide opportunities for New Yorkers and communities to flourish. The vision statement is the DYCD strives to improve the quality of life of New Yorkers by collaborating with local organizations and investing in the talents and assets of our communities to help them develop, grow, and thrive. So, if there's an organization that needs funding, you would submit a request for proposal. For example, bringing up the, what we were just talking about with the
Lights?
well, no, that's a school thing, no. With the tires,
Okay.
that. So, if, for example, if BPECA were to do a request for proposal to provide funding, you would have to have a mission statement and an outline. You could possibly get funding to create a patrol or some kind of organization to help alleviate these problems that we're encountering. We could do it would be a community-based organization, and we have a lot of people that are involved in this community. And one of the problems we have is funding. This is a way to get funding. So I just wanted to bring that up so people know we do have a way of getting more funding. The neighborhood advisory boards through the DYCD. We need people to be involved in the neighborhood advisory board because we are the eyes and the ears of the community. We know what we need and what we don't need, what programs work, what programs don't work. And we have seats open on the board. So please come, Bronx House on Monday, 6 p.m. at the meeting. Thank you.
And real quickly, Diana wants to say a few words. Diana helped get a puppet show in Waring Playground last week, so big ups to Miss Madame Finch. Yes, that
Big
was fun.
goodwill. And all the kids from the after-school program came, and it was very nice. The Parks Department. They do it all over the city, and so we applied, and they said yes. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that the MTA is doing a citywide survey for suggestions for improvements to the bus system. And Raphael and I went to a workshop the other day that was over at Jacoby, and they handed out bus maps and little cards that have the website address on where anyone can go on and you can make suggestions. Like if you have specific ideas about your own bus route, or if you want a new bus route, you want more stops, you want better hours, anything you want. They're really thinking about everything. And then the other thing, I wanted everyone to know that the election, what date is it?
November 6th.
Very good. There's gonna be 3 questions on the back of the ballot that only have to do with New York City. And they came about as a result of the charter revision process. So it's 3 proposed amendments to the city charter. And the first one's about campaign finance, and mostly it's about the matching funds. And people proposed that matching funds are not completely fair now because the people who raise the most from the large donors get the most matching funds. So the program ends up just giving the wealthiest candidates even more money. So there's a proposal to adjust that system to make it fairer. Then there's also a proposal for term limits for community boards. Because right now, community boards have no term limits at all. And there's a proposal to create what they're calling a civic engagement commission to do a variety of things. And one thing would be to arrange to have more language interpreters at elections for more languages. Because right now the program's really limited and a lot of places only have Spanish. And then also to create a citywide participatory budget program, which I think would be so great.